Hey, guess what time of year it is? Yep, it's that time of year again where I'm going to lay out my predictions for the GoPro Hero 12 camera. Now be aware, this is not a simple doubling of the hardware specs from previous models like you see in a lot of clickbait articles. This is actually based on GoPro's past release strategy and what we're really likely to see from the GoPro Hero 12. So with that, sit back, relax and enjoy. This is DemonView. So hey, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully in this video we're going to cover what we're very likely to see from the upcoming GoPro Hero 12 when it's released in September. Now, as you know, they're released every September, so hopefully GoPro will stick to that same strategy. Now before I go on, do me a brief favor and click those like and subscribe buttons, as it really does help out with the channel. Doesn't cost you a thing to do so and only takes a few seconds to do so. So go ahead, click those like and subscribe buttons. And with that, on with the video. So what has GoPro's hardware release strategy entailed in the past? Well, if you've paid attention to the differences between the hardware models from generation to generation, you'd know that GoPro have never tried to radically reinvent the wheel. Instead, they've always made more of an incremental change strategy, one that maintains the technical hardware edge in their competition without having to radically increase the camera price point. So this works out well for GoPro as they're playing the long game, and this works out well for the consumer as you're always paying a sub $500 price for the latest hardware offering. So with that in mind, let's talk about camera resolution. Will the GoPro 12 have 8K capability? No, I seriously doubt it. If you look at consumer displays at the moment, 8K televisions and monitors don't have a huge market hold. The expense is just something that a lot of people can't afford. There isn't that much content available in the 8K corner as of yet either. And editing in 8K, it's not something that the average consumer has the horsepower to do. A lot of consumers have difficulty editing 4K, let alone the current 5.3K that the top GoPro models offer. And then when you combine that with 10-bit color of the GoPro Hero 11 and 11 Mini, things get even more interesting. Also, keep in mind that the majority of GoPro owners aren't just editing their clips on their mobile devices, they're using cheap budget mobile devices to do so. I mean, it still amazes me how many people have paid less for their phone than they've paid for their actual GoPro camera and still expect to edit 20-minute clips in 5.3K on a phone. I mean, that's insane. Also, keep in mind GoPro's incremental strategy. So GoPro aren't going to jump from 5.3K to 8K. So I would say it's more likely that the next GoPro model will get a slight boost in resolution, but probably only up to 5.7K or 6K maximum. I find it unlikely that GoPro for the Hero 12 would just maintain that 5.3K resolution. However, that may still happen, but if it does, that means a boost in frame rates. So, what resolution and frame rates will the GoPro Hero 12 likely support? Well, that's a controversial question for sure. I mean, we've seen GoPro actually drop support for certain resolutions and frame rate combinations. I mean, 2.7K 30 frames per second, anyone? Now, this is likely due to internal constraints on the camera hardware and the camera only being able to handle so many different shooting modes. It's also a push by GoPro to make users start adopting more current shooting resolutions and frame rates instead of sticking to old, outdated frame rates. It could also be likely that the next resolution dropped on the GoPro is 1080p. After all, with more and more 4K televisions and monitor out there, and with cheaper price points as well, we might actually say goodbye to 1080p shooting modes. Now, don't get me wrong, we may still have 1080p, but only in certain frame rates. And this could be just because there's so many people out there with budget mobile devices that GoPro want users to have some ability to edit some sort of GoPro footage. So 1080p might stay, but a lot of the frame rates might actually be on the cutting block. 2.7K may still be available. After all, this resolution is needed for the Max lens mod, and given that mod's popularity, dropping support for it would be a mistake. Unless GoPro offer the Max lens mod too, but more on that one later. One area that GoPro could improve upon is their slow motion shots. Although 240 frames per second seems great, most camera phones can shoot in small bursts, software enhanced 960 frames per second. However, I can't see GoPro offering such slow motion bursts as of yet, so it's more likely that 4K may get a boost up to 240 frames per second, while other shooting speeds stay more or less where they are. So, will there be new mods for the GoPro Hero 12? We'd all love there to be new mods for the GoPro Hero 12, although the current mods do work very well, there has been some slight issues with them. The media mod, for instance, can be time consuming to disassemble when trying to access the camera's SD card or change battery. The Max Lens mod can only support 2.7K resolution, and no, this is not something that can be changed by a firmware update. This is a physical limitation caused by the optics of the device. The Max Lens mod can only focus its FOV on a 2.7K area of the sensor. So it may be possible that there could be a Max Lens Mod 2 that has different optics and it could focus an image on a 4K area of the sensor. However, this mod would not work on the Hero 11, 10 or 9 due to its physical sensor size, and GoPro may not want to deal with hundreds of incoming consumer complaints and item returns from users purchasing the Max Lens Mod 2 and expecting it to work on their older cameras. So while we're due an update to the Max Lens mod, it may not be on the cards right now. The Media Mod 2, however, that's something else we'd all love to see, and I've already listed why. However, this also has the same problem as above. Any new features it introduces likely wouldn't work on previous GoPro models, and this translates to the same consumer complaints and item returns. Now that I've said the above, I will have to backtrack on it a little though, as the Max Lens Mod 2 and the Media Mod 2 stand a possibility of being made, but only if there's a camera redesign. So that brings us to the big question: will the GoPro Hero 12 be redesigned? It's likely. If you look at GoPro's previous design history, they've changed their camera design every 2 to 3 generations. Well, the Hero 12 is in that time frame for a camera redesign. Again, nothing radical. I'd expect the screen and button layouts to be the same, however, changing a few aspects such as dimensions, port locations, and battery door compartments could result in a camera with better thermal processing and heat dissipation. And if the camera gets redesigned, then the probability of a Max Lens Mod 2 and a Media Mod 2 would be on the table. Now, that's a big if though. You see, when the GoPro Hero 12 is released, it might make more sense for GoPro to keep the current design. That way the current Max Lens mod and Media mod, camera cases and accessories that fit all 3 models sold on GoPro.com, that's the Hero 9, 10 and 11, this would help GoPro reduce the inventory of these mods, inventory of batteries, inventory of cases, which is kind of what you want to do before releasing a new camera design. So financially it might make more sense for GoPro to keep the current form factor and dimensions. Sure, I'd love to see a new camera design, but again, incremental changes, not radical changes, is the GoPro way. Though what about those rumors of a detachable rear screen that's also remote and wireless charging and the GoPro Max 2? No, no, and no. A detachable rear screen would have to have some sort of set of contacts on the back in order to communicate with the GoPro. This in turn would affect how waterproof the GoPro would be, and if used for action sports, it could accidentally detach from the camera and be lost. Also, most users already have a portable wireless display that's completely detachable and wireless, and it's called their cell phone. This idea of a detachable rear screen was dreamt up of quite some time ago. It keeps popping up, and it's as ill thought out now as it was back then. Wireless charging? Doubtful. After all, GoPro sells batteries and battery chargers. Probably a nice little earner for them, come to think of it, so why mess with that? Also, we've seen what happens when you have a GoPro that offers a built-in battery. Since wireless charging can take some time and uses up valuable battery real estate, I don't think this is something that's likely to happen at all. So, will there be a GoPro Max 2? Now, everyone seems to want this, but again, the issue is where to go with such a camera. The GoPro Max has issues as it is. After all, where's that ambisonic surround sound you were all offered? And how do you export your video and maintain its GPS data? Also, people would expect higher resolution and frame rates, which their budget phones wouldn't be able to handle. Throw in the fact that GoPro's software is a little behind the competition, frankly GoPro could stand to push this camera out even further. Another sign that a new Max isn't coming anytime soon is GoPro introducing an Enduro variation battery for the GoPro Max. Remember what I said about phasing out inventory before introducing a new model? Well, in this case, GoPro have created new battery inventory. Also, another sign that there isn't going to be a GoPro Max 2 is that the Labs firmware for the Hero Max was just recently updated in the past week. And, well, the thing is that if you focus on creating Labs firmware for a current camera, this is a sure sign that another camera isn't coming. Usually only the latest cameras get Labs update, and with the Max being so old, trying to unlock additional features is a sign that there's no replacement coming anytime soon. Although in all fairness, this could have been done to reduce inventory availability of the GoPro Max itself. Either way, GoPro would have to bring something seriously impressive to the table to offer a Max 2 up for sale due to its age, and honestly I just don't think GoPro is there yet. So what else can we expect from GoPro this year? Well, what we can look forward to is new software. Users have been complaining for years about a lack of desktop software for their cameras. GoPro currently offer and support the GoPro Player with RealSteady as an optional extra and the webcam app for desktop, and that is it. Now this is hardly surprising, as when GoPro did offer Quick for Desktop, it wasn't widely used, it wasn't very stable, and they were spending money trying to maintain this platform, and it wasn't generating any money. So it made no financial sense whatsoever for GoPro to keep offering Quick for Desktop. However, now that the GoPro Plus subscription has been a major success for GoPro, it's made them realize the value of offering a paid desktop software solution. So just like the mobile app, this may have a free basic service for the everyday users, but GoPro Plus subscribers would have full access to much more features such as music, themes, cloud account access, and the ability to sync edits across multiple platforms. GoPro could even sell it as an add-on like they do at RealSteady to generate more income. And that makes a lot of sense, rather than just spend money on the development and support of a desktop app that works for free for GoPro Plus subscribers, charge an extra $10 a month to the GoPro Plus subscribers for desktop software version of Quick also, and that kind of generates money. Having said that though, GoPro do have two things working against them when it comes to desktop software. Their software department is actually quite small, and as a result their mobile app suffers from a myriad of issues, and there are endless complaints about reliability, connection issues, black screens during renders. So stretching that software department out even more to cover the creation of a desktop solution that also has to integrate cloud and cross-platform synchronization, this may be just too much to ask of GoPro this year. We may not see anything until next year from this. Then when it does get released, well, that's when you start seeing user complaints regarding software not working on their desktop. Windows users can actually use Android apps in a Windows environment, and while this may not seem to be the smoothest of experiences, it can still be easily done. So if GoPro get too greedy with their desktop offering, people may just opt to keep using their mobile version or other free video editing programs. This would potentially cost GoPro quite a lot of money in lost revenue. It could even cost them more money if the software does not perform. So what would I suggest to GoPro for the Hero 12? Well, GoPro has a lot of things to consider, but I think they need to go bold. Give us that camera redesign with a better media mod that's quick and simple to remove. Even if it's not the traditional media mod design, I mean something that's just a clip and replaces the side door will actually work very well, and that would make it get very quick to access the battery and SD card. You can give us built-in memory. Yeah, frankly 512 gigabytes of memory built in would be sufficient, and I think this would solve a lot of issues that I see. People would think nothing of paying $450 for an action camera, but then try to cheap out by spending $10 on an SD card. These cards are usually far too slow for the camera, are just not compatible with the camera, SanDisk Ultra, I'm looking at you, or badly formatted to begin with. This results in the camera freezing, locking up, unexpected shutdowns, so fix that problem now. Stop having users send back their cameras to GoPro when it's a simple issue of using an incorrect SD card. Having a built-in storage medium and the ability to perform a full format should an issue occur, that would just be perfect. Well, until the release of the GoPro Hero 12 in September, we're pretty much going to have to wait with bated breath to see what finally gets released. In the meantime, I plan on fully enjoying the summer, filming with my Hero 10 and 11 and updating Google Street Views with my Hero Fusion. And if you haven't watched that video on how to do that, I'll leave a link above. In the meantime, I'd actually love to hear what you think will be coming in the GoPro Hero 12. Now, I'm not talking about a bizarre wish list of things that aren't going to happen, but realistically, what do you think will happen with the Hero 12? Leave a comment down below and hopefully other people will chime in on your expectations or hopes. So, thanks for watching, I really appreciate it. Do not forget to click like and subscribe. And one more thing, there's going to be an upcoming giveaway when we hit 2K subscribers here, so check out the community tab for details about that. I already have a little poll up about what you would get as a prize. You can chime in there. So until next time, thanks for watching and cheerio.